World 100 Eldora walked out of there with just over $80,000.
Shut the front door.
$80,000 to the winner.
What?
That'll make me come back to a racetrack.
Yeah.
What was the charity? I don't
How
remember.
much do the beers cost there?
They're not that much. I'm telling you right now, that is one of the most affordable racetracks to go to. And that is also how you bring people in. If they know they're going to get a great night of entertainment and they can afford to sit down, buy a beer, buy a burger, buy the kids or whatever, you're going to have more people. Do you want to work on volume or do you want to work on profit margin? I mean, do you want to where are we trying to make the money here? See what I'm saying? Do you understand where I'm going? Volume.
Volume for sure.
Because I'll tell you right now, if I go raise my gate to $15 a person to get in, how many people are going to show up and sit in the stands?
Not many.
Not many.
I drive to.
Well, here's what I'm saying. When I say this is what I'm saying. If I'm used to going to whatever track I'm going to, I've been going there for 20 years, and it costs me $10 to get in, okay? And I show up at the gate, first race this season, and I see the new prices are $15 to get in. That's called sticker shock. I might not come back. If I do get in and I see that the hamburger went from $4 to $6.50, I'm probably not coming back. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And bringing the kids. No.
You can't outprice yourself. You can't price yourself out of the game. And we're seeing a lot of racetracks do that.
You got to be able to afford to bring your family.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
the biggest deal. Your kids, you want to bring your kids. And if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. I mean, there's a lot of difference. If you've got 3 kids you're bringing.
That's why you get the family pack.
Yeah, family pack.
2 adults, 3 kids, $35.
You make your the food good. You make it a reasonable price.
Hamburgers are $4 for a beer at Eldora. Burgers are $4. Hot dogs are $3.
Nice.
That is not out of the ballpark. That's
affordable.
Absolutely, it is. It absolutely is. So talking about what makes a track successful, you don't just put it on. Oh, well, the promoter. Sometimes the promoter isn't the owner. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you're talking about track owner. Some people say, oh, it's the track owner. This guy's a jerk. That guy's a punk. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Da-da-da-da. It starts there. But it's not just that. The drivers have to show up. The prices have to be right. The show has to flow. You see, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here, and I'm telling you guys right now, as long as I've been in racing, Mike McCann's got it figured out. Mike McCann does a heck of a job with the way he runs that track and the way he runs his show. You don't see 45. You don't see 45-minute intermissions. You don't see the grader coming out of the track. You don't see.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know we've all seen this. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about. Yeah.
The one thing I love about Mike that I notice that he does at the end of the race is we're all standing there waiting for, the winners to get there, whatever, and just talking. Mike's standing right next to us.
Hanging out.
And then all of a sudden he's like, nope, we're done. And the lights go off. That's time to go home.
Well, what did Mike? Okay, so and what did Mike do last week? We hang out afterwards.
Yeah.
We had a beer.
Yeah, we
had a beer with Mike. Talked about the nice, how great it was, and he says, "Hey, how long are you guys gonna be here?" We're like, "I don't know. We're hanging out, talking. We're chit chatting with some other racers, and having a good time. Medell, Jordan Broughton, and their wives and friends, and there was a bunch of us hanging out. And he says, "Hey, lock the gate on the way out. We're heading home." He left, and we locked the gate up. I mean.
Yep.
It's Mike's got it figured out. This year has been nothing but a pleasure to work with him.
Did you lock the gate?
We locked it up.
Okay.
I will tell you right now, I was not gonna disappoint. I told Mike I'll lock it. So
if you treat your drivers right,
he does.
Your fans are going to come because every driver has a fan base. Every single driver does. You treat your drivers. The fans are going to come.
And treat your fans and listen to them.
Treat your staff. Number one.
Staff.
Treat your staff because They help.
I see
show.
the staff week after week after week. They're same staff.
You see anybody
I see
PO'd?
some new ones coming in to help because it's so
They
busy,
need
but
more, yeah.
You don't see anybody PO'd threatening to walk
No.
out.
Nope.
they're all
No.
smiling.
No, and we have been actually to just kind of popped into my mind because it was so crazy, where we have seen staff completely lose their mind and
quit.
and walk out and throw a big scene and just crazy stuff. We don't get that. We don't see that at Southern Oregon, but they have great staff. And it's hard.
Well, and
it's hard to keep good people.
It is very hard to keep good
Nina
people.
knows that because Nina's got to hire her own staff.
She's in management.
We just sold a business trying to get decent people in there to work for us.
We were good for the most part. I mean, there was a couple people that you get them, but
we don't have any horror stories,
but
but
overall,
it's hard to get good people.
it's the whole package. It's the
Yeah.
whole package. I mean, there's not one thing. Is my point of this conversation is there's not one thing that makes a track successful. Okay, a lot of people try to pin it on one thing.
It's the whole package.
It's everything, and I'm telling you guys, I've been in this game a long, long time. Listen to me when I say this. Mike McCann's got it figured out. It might be different than what anybody else does, okay, as far as his format. You're not using qualifying and how he lines things up, but the show flows. The fans love it. They get entertainment. They get their money's worth. They're not there, seeing a bunch of drunken idiots. I mean, the track is managed well. The races are managed well. The pit area, the tracks are flowing, and the races are flowing. He's got it figured out. Okay, I'm going to tell you something right now. Claire Arnold was one of the best promoters that any of us has ever seen. Okay, he had it figured out, and what did he do? He did it his way, and he didn't do it like anybody else. He wasn't the cookie cutter type, and he was probably the most successful promoter that we've seen. I know in the Pacific Northwest, maybe in the Western region. He's won Promoter of the Year before his passing. He did things his way, and there was a reason he had 140 cars every Saturday night. There was a reason you couldn't get in his grandstands after qualifying. It's because the seats were all gone. It's because he had it figured out. And this is the direction that I see Southern Oregon Speedway going under McCann's leadership. I see it. I'm watching it. From what I have heard to where it's at now and what I've seen just this summer, Southern Oregon Speedway's got a very, very bright future.
What a beautiful facility to make.
Great facility.
It's just-
Fantastic facility.
I will tell you, the fans are comfortable.
Yes.
Corey digs those concrete grandstands. You'll see the same thing down at the Bud Nationals where people can bring their chairs, their own chairs. They can be comfortable or they can sit right on the concrete. Those grandstands are fantastic. You go to other tracks, grandstands aren't so great.
Restrooms are phenomenal. Concessions are phenomenal. Beer stand. I mean, all that stuff. It's so nice and so put together and organized. You can stand in line and get a beer and watch the races.
Watch the race.
You
Exactly.
can stand in line and get a hot dog and watch the
You
race.
could almost watch it from the bathroom if the door is facing a better direction.
Absolutely.
You can, and I'll tell you,
Yeah.
the bathrooms, being a female, we
Yeah.
like clean bathrooms. You go in there before races start when we first, when our crew first gets there, we go in there. That bathroom, you could almost eat off the floor. It is sparkling clean. Toilet seats are up. You can tell the toilets have been all scrubbed out. There's no trash on the floor. Everything's filled up. It is amazing how it's just good.
Like I'm telling you guys, Mike
People
McCann has
like
got
it.
it figured
He
out.
does.
You know, there
And
must
he's
be a
got a
guy
good staff.
cleaning all those toilets if he leaves the seat up, right?
It could be, but I know the girl that cleans them. So
You know, the beer girl, she's just so wonderful. I mean, she's got always has a line there, and she's using
Always
both
laughing.
hands.
Always
She's
laughing.
making 2 beers at a time.
Yeah.
At the end of 4 hours, she's still smiling. She's still happy.
Yep.
She loves what she does.
Great
And the
photo.
people in line, sometimes they have to wait a little bit to get a beer, but they're not
You know what?
complaining.
I was going to say they're not
They're
complaining
happy.
either. Yeah.
They're not drunk. They're happy.
No, and you got to
Because
wait
they
because
stand
there's
there and
people
they
there.
can
There's
watch
people
the
there
race.
having a
You
great
know what?
time. The stands are full.
It doesn't matter if you're waiting in line for a half hour for a beer there because guess what? You still get to watch the show.
You still watch
They're
the
watching
show.
the race.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yes, that's
So
exactly
then you
it.
get your drink, you go back to the back of the line, you still watch the show.
Yep.
Do you know how
Just
many
keep it
people actually
rotating.
do that?
I know. I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah, and he's not lying because
Yeah.
he's not. Yeah. So the whole discussion the whole reason of me bringing that discussion up of what makes a track successful, it's not one thing. It's the whole package, okay? And it's doing it your way. If you do it like everybody else, you're just another racetrack. You see what I'm saying? You're just another racetrack. You got it on? You good? Okay.
It's good.
So what Mike is doing, and that's, I kind of baited people into that conversation, and what Mike is doing, if you really stop and take a look, he's doing it the right way.
Well, somebody had mentioned earlier, and I believe it was Dave, when we first arrived at Southern Oregon Speedway, there was a lady that came up to me, a fan, that said, I really like that guy's voice. I will tell you that if the announcer's crappy, you're not going to have fans in the stands either.
Yeah, that's
We make
I think
it
it's a small part of it.
now.
Well, don't discount it that much because those you have the voice. People love the show. I've had many people walk up to me and say, "Thank you guys for what you do." There's a life there that wasn't there before.
I've actually had someone say that to me.
I have had way more than one person say that to me. Where we go as a team and the camaraderie that we bring to a racetrack, people dig that.
See, and
They
here's the thing. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not cookie cutter. I'm not. I never have been. I never will be. I do things different. And I think that's what you got to be unique. I don't care what you're doing, whether you're woodworking, whether you're whatever you're doing. Do it to the best of your ability and do it unique. Do it so people appreciate what you do.
And they remember it.
That's what Mike McCann is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He's doing it his way, which is different. Okay? People are learning, okay, I wasn't too sure about this when he first got here. Okay, when we first got there, and Mike says, we don't use qualifying. I said, well, how the heck is this going to work? I've never seen a show that doesn't use qualifying. Why didn't you use qualifying, Mike? Well, it doesn't tear up our racetrack. We got a good racetrack when racing starts. Our first race of the nights are trophy dashes. There's no qualifying. It's based off the top 4 finishers from the week before. And the track is good. You know, it doesn't, I mean, this is his process. This is how he does it. Okay? How I do it is a lot different than most announcers. How other owners do it is there's so many people that do the same thing that doesn't work, and they wonder why they're not putting people in the seats or having cars in the pits.
I've done a lot of reading, and so have you, Corey, about social media. And I think in this day and age, people are relying too much on social media for their promotions.
Absolute fact.
And not going out and doing other things to get the fans in the stands. You can't just go onto Facebook and advertise
Well, we
something.
learn that every time we get to the town and we're out eating or stopping somewhere to grab like a hot dog and we're talking. You guys always think I'm weird because I'm like, hi, hey, what are you guys doing later? Hi.
But how many times has that brought people to the track?
Yeah, no,
They
that's
see
what
the
I'm
Moxie
getting at. They're like,
shirts
what do
and
you guys do?
Right. Where they see the Moxie, we wear our team shirts out and about in the community. And, hey, what do you guys do? What's going on? We start talking about Southern Oregon Speed, and we're like, oh, we haven't been there for a while. That's the couple that we just talked to last weekend, where they had to be close to 70 years old at Costco.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. It was Costco.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out where it was.
It's usually Costco where we get some people to get.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, what do you guys do? And they see the team shirts. We start talking, and we get excited about Southern Oregon Speedway, and like, oh, man, what's going on tonight? And we tell them, and out they come.
Guess
and
what?
they showed up.
They were there.
Yeah.
They showed up.
That's
wonderful. But if you're the guy that is relying specifically on Facebook or social media simply because it's free to market your racetrack and expecting to grow your facility,
not gonna happen.
you are going to fail. I'm telling you that right now. You are going to fail. There is so much more out there that is just as effective, if not more. Who are the people you're trying to get there? Who are the people you're trying to reach when you're talking about getting to a racetrack?